Hi everyone, it's Bobby. I want to welcome you to Country Craft Creations Christmas in July celebration. I have a wallet style folio that I have made, and I've made two of them. The tutorial will be on this second one, but I'll show you the walkthrough of both of them. The first one is using Authentics Jingle from last year's collection, and I just fussy cut out the Santa, added the word believe in three of the little holly berry things. I did put a little, what's it called? Glossy accents and a couple of little dots on there. And when you open it this way, there's a photo space here to put some of the little candies there that I had on a sticker sheet in my stash. The bottom, I have a candy house that was also in my stash, and there's a pocket down here. It has die cuts in it. These will hold a 4x6. And then there is a pocket in this page, and we have several little die cuts, all from the collection. Then on this side, I have a little stocking with the holly berry leaves, and has glitter on the top. That's from out of my stash. This, I used the cocoa paper with the marshmallows, and I just put a little package of cocoa in there. And then on the back we have a photo mat. Then on the inside of the back cover, it opens out this way. This paper I love. That's my favorite, I think, in the whole package was this holly berry leaf. I had these little stickers in my stash. They're kind of making a glare, I think. I hope not. The little penguin and some gifts. And it opens to both sides, and you have a pocket with more dies. I just mounted those on white cardstock. And there's one over here on this side, the Santa. So you can place a photo or journal on those. And then we have a double pocket here. And these also hold 4x6. And there's a second pocket here that I don't have anything in at the moment. So let's close these, and I'll show you the second one, which is what we'll be doing the tutorial on. And it is held with a magnet, and this is just some fuzzy twine I had in my stash. I thought it kind of reminded me of the angel hair you put on your tree. So here is the one the tutorial will be on. This one is using Vintage Christmas by Stamperia. And I had these little ornaments or trinkets in my stash, and these little bells. Somebody sent me this little bow in a swap that I did some time ago, so I put that on there. And then I had these little snowflake ornaments in my stash. But I love this scene. It's just so pretty. So again, you open it this way. This time the pouch is smaller because I messed up. This is supposed to be the top, not the bottom. But I had turned it around when I was putting some pieces together, and I forgot to turn it back around. So I cut my pieces wrong. So I had to cut my pocket down smaller. But that's okay, it still worked out. So in the pocket I have two dies, or two of the cut aparts. Make really nice journaling spots. And then this little fold out says Merry Christmas. They just have the most gorgeous papers. Then the center opens out like the other one. And I have a photo mat in each one. And I just used a die that I had in my stash. And these tags were in the cut apart sheet. And I just used some twine and ribbon that I had in my stash. This reminded me of the candy cane, so I thought that was appropriate. And you can use either side of the photo mat. And I just notched each of the pages with the small envelope punch board. So this is, instead of pouches of pockets on these two, I just did photo mats because we've got enough pouches and places for photos as need be. How about that? So there's your 4 pages there. Then you have your double pocket in the back. I love this tag. I think it is so pretty. A postcard and a die cut. All of this came in the collection. And another postcard in here and a die cut. I tell you, you can't go wrong with these papers. They're just gorgeous. And then in the top, this time I did a pocket with 2 more of the tags. This one says "Let It Snow," and that's just Merry Christmas. And then another one of their fold-out little booklets. Really nice journaling spot. So this is the one we'll be doing the tutorial on, and it'll be step by step showing you everything that I did, and the measurements will be posted for you. I give them to you as I go along, but you don't have to worry about writing them down because I'll have them listed for you. And this is held with a magnet, and then there's a magnet here on the front. That's it. I hope you enjoy. Stay tuned for the tutorial, and we'll all have a Merry Christmas in July. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. So what I'm going to use for the tutorial is the burgundy cardstock and this vintage Christmas by, who is it by? Stamperia, or Stamperia, I'm not sure how you say it. But this is a really pretty Christmas paper, and it's also got places to save your holiday recipes that you might want to save. Aren't those pretty? So that's what we're going to use, a lot of journaling cards. Okay, so let's lay this aside, and I have my cardstock cut out, and I'll give you the measurements, but you don't have to write them down because they will be posted on the website for you. So you will need, and I'm using the burgundy, and this is the artisan cardstock. The first piece is 6.5 by 12, and the next piece is 6.5 by 6. These two pieces will join together to make the cover. Then you will need 10.5 by 5.25, 5.5 by 9.25, a 6 by 5, a 4 3/4 by 5, a 7 3/8 by 5.5, and the last two pieces are 6.5 by 3.25 and 6.5 by 2 3/4. Okay. Okay, the first thing we want to do is score the 6 by 12, or 6.5 by 12. And we're going to score it at 4.25, which is right here. And 5. That gives us a 3/4 inch. And then at 11.25. This is just a little bit long. 11.25. Right there. In the second piece, the 6.5 by 6, we're just going to score it with the 6 at the top at 5 1/8. Is that right? Yep. Well, that can't be right. Let me think a minute. 5 1/8. No, I think 5 3/8. I change that on my directions real quick. Because I don't want it to be quite 3/4, so if it is, then you'd have to trim it off. Okay. And we're going to attach these two let's burnish our folds. Make sure your sides are nice and straight. And this one. Okay. Wrong way. This attaches to this on the outside. What the heck did I get on it? I don't know. But the reason it's scored less than the 3/4 is so that it doesn't hang all the way to the edge when you cover it with your paper. Then it doesn't show so much. It doesn't have that hangover. Let me get this pin out. And I'm just going to attach these together with art glitter glue. Oh, it come running out of there. I didn't need that. Okay. I'm going to put it right up against the edge so I know it'll be nice and straight. Take it almost to the score line, just shy of that fold. Because we want it to fold nice. And that's just that glue drip, but it's going to be covered with pattern paper. So when you fold this up, see, you don't have that overhang when we put our decorative paper over it. Okay, this is the basic of your folio. But in order to strengthen these two gussets here, we need 2 pieces of lightweight cardstock, just shy of the 6.5 and 5/8 inch wide. Now, I like to take a marker, and if you have one that is a dark red, you can use that, or you can use black if you need to. I think I've got one that's red. I just like to go along the edges of the chipboard to make sure it's not going to be obvious. We are going to cover it with pattern paper, but I just like to go along the edge where the paper doesn't cover it, just to make sure it doesn't show. There's that one. This is just a Copic marker that I had in my stash, but you can use any marker. Try not to mark on yourself like I do. This is just R59 R59 is what I'm using. And my glue's running over the edge. Who knows why it's doing that. So we're going to put plenty of glue on here. Oh my goodness. I'm slopping it everywhere. And we'll just put that down right between those score lines. And just shy of the edges. Okay, there's that. Let me wipe off this glue tip here. Put my pen back in it while we're scoring pieces so it doesn't get all doopy on me. And a wet baby wipe. Put my pen back in there. There we go. Okay, next thing we want to do is take the 6.5 by 12. And this is going to be, we'll set this one aside. This is going to be the pocket on the inside, the one that had all the depth to it. And it's not 6.5 by 12. It's 6.5 by, see, I didn't change my measurement there, 6.5 by 10.5, I think. Yeah. And we're going to where is it? Oh, 5 1/4. I'm telling you, don't know my measurements. 5 1/4 by 10.5. And we're going to score at a half. One, 1.5, 2, and 2.5. I like to go over each one twice because the artisan's kind of thick. Make sure I get it good. Okay, turn it around to the other short end. 1/2, 1, 1.5, 2, and 2.5. And we want to score one of the short ends at 1/2, or one of the long ends, sorry. One long end at a half. Okay. Now we're going to take our scissors. Let me find my scissors. And all of these little boxes at the bottom are going to be cut away. So angle it just a hair. And then cut straight in on this 1/2 inch. Like that. Just a very slight angle. And all the way in. There we go. Now let's burnish on these. So under and over. Make sure they stay where your edges don't overhang. Under, over, and under one more time. I like this one better for the thicker paper. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. Under, over, under, over, and one more under. Okay, see how you see that hanging over a little bit? You don't want that. So push it back. Make it go where you want it to. And then burnish it. And get a little extra overhang there, so I'm going to cut that away. Okay, now let's fold this under, burnish it real good. Now if you want your pocket to have a notch in it, I usually wait till I put my paper on it so that I can notch them both together, but that's entirely up to you. What we need to do is to tuck both of these under like this and make sure it's going to fold over it. Okay. I'm going to trim this just a hair off of here, off of all of these folded pieces, so that I can take out a little bit of that bulk, and just helps this bottom piece lay flat. So we're going to put glue right there and right here, and we're going to fold both of these up, both edges. And get a couple clothespins here to hold it till it dries. Okay. I'm going to set this aside for now. Next piece. What is next? Next is the 5.5 by 9 1/4. We're going to, let me change measurement on that one because I changed it again. We're going to score and I should have changed my, let me see what I've got printed on here. Let me see, I was going to make this a 12-inch piece, and I changed it to 9 1/4. So I'm going to say 4 1/4 and 4 3/4, I believe. Yeah, 4 1/4 and 4 3/4, because one needs to be larger than the other. And we're going to burnish these. My edges straight. There's not a lot of difference between them, but that's okay. When it goes in the book, it'll look like that. 4 1/4, 4 3/4. It gets really hot in here when you have the air off. If you do this, whoops, in segments. And then once we have put our pattern paper on, this is going to attach right here. It's going to sit right on there. So we can set that aside. Then we need our 2 pieces for the top. Oh, these are the 2 little pockets that sit on the side. The 5 1/4, or the 6 by 5, and the 4 3/4 by 5. Okay. Okay. We're going to score both of them at 1/2 and 3/4. This one with a 4 3/4 at the top at 1/2 and 3/4. And this one with a 6 at the top at 1/2. Oops, almost did 1/4. 1/2 and 3/4. Okay, let's burnish these. These. Okay. Now these are going to attach to the outside, to the back, so that we'll have just a little small gusset here. Actually, the long one goes over here, and the short one goes over here, like that. And we will attach those with the art glitter glue. Okay, we're ready to glue these two pieces down. And I'm just going to eyeball them pretty much center of this back piece. And I'm going to put my glue on the underside of this fold. And you don't have to trim the edges because it's not going flush to the top or the bottom. So there's no need to cut those. So I'm just going to eyeball it and put it down in here just shy of the score line so that it will fold. Oops. That wet baby wipe laying there. Get cut my page. It should dry out okay. So there's our little gusset on that one. So let's glue this one down. And slide it up under there, just like the other one. Almost to the score line. We want it to match with the other one. And we are going to have a magnet there, so see, that should go up under just a little farther. There we go. Now our magnet will be placed when we put the embellishment on the top. So once we open these out, then we have the 7 3/8 by 5 1/2. Let's lay this aside. And we're going to score the 7 3/8 by 5 1/2. And we're going to score it at 1/2 inch on both short ends and 1 long end. So there's a short, a long, and a short. Okay, now once you get that, then you're going to take your paper cutter and the end that is not scored, we're going to set it 2 inches. And we're going to cut that off.
Nana.
Yeah. Doing a video, sweetie. Who is it?
Donnie.
Okay. Okay, we want to burnish these 2 pieces. This one we're going to trim off the corner right where those 2 lines cross. And then we're going to trim this top edge, not all the way into the score line, just shy of it, so we don't end up with a hole there at the corner. And we'll burnish these down. That'll give us our pocket. And I want to, did I put, I don't think I put notches in them, did I? I did the 2 little pockets. But no, I did not that one. I didn't think I did. Okay. So we can go ahead and put these in the book. So, let me trim this off just a hair more. It's kind of overlapping a little bit, and I don't want that bulk in there. This one's okay. Okay, so we're going to put our glue on here. I don't know why this thing keeps dripping like that. Well, for one thing, I left the cap off. I had to go pick somebody up, and I left my pin out. I shouldn't have done that. Make sure it's okay. I hate when I do that. There it goes. A little bit sluggish. I'm going to glue these down. And we're just going to set this in the bottom. Doesn't take long at all to make this. Okay, we're going to set it just shy of that score line. Just above it. And it'll be just a hair in from the sides. And we want to burnish that down real good. And we're going to glue these 2 down. And we're going to set it just even with the top of that one. And when we put our paper on, we will cut our paper so that it goes inside this pocket. understood to have that over a little bit more. There we go. Goes this way. So there's the basics of our folio, minus the pouch here. And then we have our two little pocket pieces, which go here and here. And that one looks a little bit long, doesn't it? Yes, it's quite a bit long. I'll trim it down. It only has to be an inch longer than this. So I'll make a mark here. And I'll put this one down here, make a mark, and we'll check and make sure they're only an inch. So I'll put my pencil line on an inch and cut any extra off. And this one's way off. 1 inch. Okay. Let's make this so we can score our little pockets. So we want one long side. And these are basically just little tuck spots. They are pockets, but they're not really big or deep. So there's a 1/2 inch on that one. And a 1/2 inch. On 3 sides, both of them. Both short ends and one long end. Okay. So let's trim out our corners. So we have nice pockets. Okay, I'm going to trim these off just a little. Take out some of that bulk. Alright, you can burnish these. Okay, now we'll bring back in our folio, and this little one is going to sit right over here towards the bottom. Let's see, I let it sit too long while I was gone. You know, I think what I'm going to do is paper these before I put them on so I can notch them like that lower one. That's what I'm going to do. I want to notch them. So this one will sit here, this one will sit here, but I want to put the paper on them and notch them first, because this one's going to have a notch. So I want it to match. Okay, so let's lay these in here for now. That'll have a magnet like this. This will get the pouch pocket, and it will fold up like that. And then this will be our centerpiece here. Okay? Alright. I will cut my designer paper and I'll be back and we'll put this all together. Okay, so we're ready to put down these outside pieces. And I have the green for the top. Well, maybe. I thought I do. I have this up here. And this is going to tuck under here, just as a filler. So let's put this one down first. Yes, I inked them. Had to make sure. Oh, I forgot to put my pen back in. I'm terrible about that. Let's see if I can make it flow. There it goes. I had to recut everything to make it fit after I goofed up and had it upside down. So that is going to go right here. Actually, make sure it's the same width as that. And I'll take just a hair off of it or let it set down tight. Ink it again. I think my glue's still good. I hope. Yeah, I didn't have enough of burgundy showing. There we go. Let's just border off of one of the pages. I might need to take a little off of this as well. Just a hair maybe. Just took a little snip off of it. I'm going to hit that with the ink. Put that down. Put something under it so I can see my edge. There we go. I just want to be able to see my edge until I get it straight. I am going to add some embellishments to it, but nothing really elaborate because, like I said, we want it to go through the mail without much trouble. Okay, now I'll probably have to trim this off because it was cut to fit the other way. So let me make a little mark and I'll trim her down. Like that, the burlap. And it's going to go right there. press on it. I'll get this one over here. And we might as well do the back. This is up, right side up. Okay. And then I was going to put just a tiny bit of green so that it shows up, because it kind of melted into the red, the burgundy cardstock. So we want it between all the score lines. If it goes the other way, let me see. It does. Like so. I'm thinking maybe it might be just a hair long. I'm going to take just a snip off of that. I think it's just a hair long. Better safe than sorry. I think I need to replace my brand. Little Fiskars trimmer was not one. Cut very good. Okay. Now we'll glue. Okay. Yep, that's better. Is going to go down on the tan. And then we have the red Christmas trees. And I need to trim a little off of that as well. I turned it the other way. I don't know if I can get it off or not. Okay. It goes this way. And I still need to take a little off of the green. Okay. I wanted there to be a larger tan border and very minimal green. So I'm going to trim this up just a hair and we'll be good to go. Okay. Let's glue that down. Make sure I've got even borders all the way around. Christmas trees will sit right there. Oops. Looks like I cut that crooked. I sure did. Let me cut another piece real quick. Thank you, Fiskars. I don't appreciate it at all. Let's hope. That trimmer, I tell you, it's giving me a feel here lately. Let me check this side. Ink it again, of course, but that's better. That trimmer's been giving me fits. I want to get the one like Tammy's got. Budget just didn't allow for it right now. So we've just got a little green border, and then I'm going to put this on the back of it. It says a Merry Christmas greeting, or just a Christmas greeting. I like to put something on the back of the album so they don't look like they're forgotten, because they have to be pretty too. Just put it right in the center of the back. Okay, so there's that. Now we can close it up. We've still got embellishments to do. What is that? Showing a white edge. Let me hit that with the ink. White cardstock edge. There, that's better. Okay. So I will go ahead and I'll cut my papers for this insert, and we'll do that, and then we've got embellishments left. Alright, I'll be back shortly. Okay, we're ready to finish this up. So we have this insert left that goes, how did I get on there? That goes on this little spine here, and instead of putting pockets on it, I just cut strips and then filled it in with my artisan cardstock, the cream color, or not cream color, the craft, and then I did on all four sides, and I just used scraps of what I had to fill in. So all we have to do is just glue this and pretty much center it in there as best you can. So I'm just going to add some of the art glitter glue to the bottom of this little piece here, and we're going to set it right down in here. I want to get it as center as I can. Bring it more this way. It looks pretty good right there. And then I cut a piece of the scrap to go right in here, the same that's underneath it. And then I just cut out some of the tags that came with the paper collection and added those in, and I'll show you those real quick. There's that. And then I have two pieces for the outside. That's the only thing we hadn't done so far on the outside. Let's just turn it over flat. So I can put these two down. One more. That back turned out pretty, didn't it? I really like that. And a strip right here. show you the added touches I put on here. I had these little bells in my stash and some little charms. This is a gingerbread, a holly leaf, and the bells. And somebody had sent me this in a swap some time ago. So I just used the little bow, and then I added 3 little snowflake charms that I had in my stash. So then when we open it, here's the tags that came with the collection. I just punched a little hole, put a little ribbon and some baker's twine. I did the red and white because it reminded me of the candy cane stripe. And then what came in the collection, made little booklets or cards. So those are real nice little journaling spots. So I put that in there with 2 tags. Then we open it this way, and in the pouch I just put some more of the fold-outs that came with the collection. This is 2 journaling tags, and this is another one of the little fold-outs. Isn't that pretty? I love their paper. Just the nicest stuff. Now here's the pieces we just glued in, and this is the center that opens out. And I just cut a photo mat with this die that I had in my stash. And another one of the tags. Same thing over here, a tag and a die. This one's a scrap of the Christmas tree paper. And this one has got a little recipe on it. Paper's just gorgeous. And then in the center I have a postcard, a little die cut, and a tag. I love that one. So pretty. And in the second pocket I have another postcard and a die cut. So there's room in the pockets for many more things. Actually could put some more photo mats, but with all the pockets and the photo mats that's in it already, I think we've got plenty of spaces for journaling and photos and all of that. So that is the finished album. I hope y'all enjoy it, and if you do decide to make one, I hope you'll post pictures of your finished project and share them with us. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a good day. Bye.